Awesome, Patricia.
That was really awesome and sharing that today. I'm sure that trading the FOMC probably had a lot to do with it. So was that, how was that? Was that crazy?
Yeah, it was crazy. I got my computer with CNBC on the background, so I was just sort of like waiting for it. So I knew something that was going to happen. So I played some longs, some shorts, and just wait to see it react, and then sort of like try and confirm. And then it kept going. It got crazy at some point. So I traded on and off during the day. But again, just really applying what I've been learning at these night sessions, and it's working fine.
Congratulations. That was like a record for you, right?
Right. Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we always like, what did Jimmy say? Breaking records or what did you say earlier?
Breaking barriers.
Breaking barriers. That's right.
There you go.
All right. So Jimmy, so just so you guys know that the people that are on, I like to kind of go in kind of just trade with different people every night. So Jimmy has a little bit more experience than Andrew. Andrew's not here, but Andrew just started, a couple of weeks ago. So when I go into Andrew and I talk to him, we really go over basics. So I'm not going to do that with Jimmy tonight, but we're gonna really just kind of. Well, you tell me, Jimmy. What do you think that if there's anything that you'd like to maybe dial in, get a little better? You've been trading just as long as I have, so really, if I can help you in any way, I can. Or should we just trade? You know what I mean? You let me know what you'd like to do tonight. Can you also just kind of make this a little, just maximize your LMFX so it can fill the whole screen?
Are you guys not seeing the whole screen?
Well, I can. Just hit that.
Yeah, because then let's see what else
There you go.
I wonder.
So Jimmy, I know that you haven't really been wobbling as much. I know you understand what it is, but do you want me to kind of go over just, a little bit of that, how we wobble, the strategy of wobbling?
Yeah, I would love that because I've been just basically trading pullbacks a lot. So
okay. So the first thing that we need to do, and I want you to do, and I want everybody to do this if you can, is the 1, 2, 3s. Patricio, I'm going to call on you. What is the 1, 2, 3s? Do you know what the 1, 2, 3s are?
It's right next to the ABCs, isn't it?
No, we're going to get to the ABCs in a minute. I'm going to keep this very rudimentary, very, very easy. Well, what do you know what the 1, 2, 3s are for 50,000 points?
So trend, bias, price cycle.
Awesome. So go ahead and look for what the trend is, Jimmy, and then we'll explain bias for what I'm talking about, and then let's go ahead and measure the price cycles. So let's first look at what a trend is. Now it's obvious. I mean, that's a pretty easy trend to spot, right? What would you say that trend is?
The Bears are winning this game.
Plummet.
That's a pretty easy trend to spot, right?
Yeah.
So
how many time frames do you usually check? Usually 3?
Well, that's a great question, because what we're looking for is the trend and our bias for the next hour. Okay. So even if it's been a downtrend for, a day for the last 24 hours, if we have a small uptrend and we think that it's going to continue with an uptrend, I'm not saying we do because we don't, but if we have a small uptrend that we think it could perform for the next hour during our trading, well, this is the trend we follow, and we look for major resistance off of the bigger trend. Does that make sense? So that helps determine our bias by what's happening in the next hour, right? And so when we look at our bias, we want to understand what the next hour that we're trading together, where do we think the market's going to go, right? And then that's our bias, okay? And so sometimes, yes, that absolutely can follow the trend. Other times we may be on a bounce point where we might think it's going to go up. And so that's why our trend and our bias are so related. And I don't really, when we're only trading for an hour, it doesn't really matter, I guess you might say, what it did yesterday, right? Or so we don't really have to look back really far. We just need to determine what our trend, bias, and then do you know how to measure price cycles in MT4?
Yeah, is there a continuous drawing? No. Like
not that I found. Anybody know that? Because I haven't found how to continuous draw in MT4.
It's been a pain in the butt to find.
But I do know that if you have your middle mouse button, if you have your middle mouse button, just to measure price cycles, every time you click on it, if you click and drag, it'll measure it, and then click your middle mouse button and drag. And that's kind of a continuous one. And I use that all the time. So as soon as you release it, it goes away. But if you click and drag, release, click and drag, that's kind of a continuous one, right?
Okay.
The other shortcuts that I found with MT4 that I'm using all the time are the plus and minus, and then also the end key on the keyboard. So let's just go ahead and use the plus and minus and the end. So try that, and I think you'll like it. Those are kind of really quick shortcuts that I use all the time.
Oh, for like Zoom.
Yep, zooms you in and out, and then it puts you to the end of where price is currently sitting.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because it's only doing it once.
Well, the reason why it's only doing it once, no, because you're zoomed out all the way, right?
Yeah.
So you can zoom in, or you can scroll. If you grab and scroll like that, you can.
There we go. Gotcha. Shift and plus. Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
Those are just some quick keys that I've come to utilize every day in my trading. Just some shortcuts that I found in trading.
And then you said click and drag.
Yeah, middle mouse button. If you have a mouse, are you trading with a mouse? You said yesterday.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
The mouse got stuck in a trap.
Next says the check.
I don't know. That one's a little more skilled. Because I got the rolly pin. Let's try it again.
So you didn't need to do shift plus or shift minus, right?
Oh, gotcha. And then it disappears. Okay. All right. Price cycles, do you know how to measure them? Do we measure them off the 1 minute though, correct? Since that's what we'll be trading off of.
What's that? Sorry, somebody's asking where the
Mouse is?
no, where the room is. Wondering if we.
No, that Discord thing worked really good. That's how I got it.
Yeah, the event that we created.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did too.
All right, so let's go ahead and measure price cycles. I'm kind of like thinking it's not very big.
off of the 1 minute, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I would do from top to bottom on the buy.
Sure. So actually that's pretty good. So that's 6.
We've been getting 6 pip swings.
Uh-huh.
The buy side, around 6 to 8.
And then, I just measure both. So that's,
Oh yeah,
8.
both.
That's probably, up and down, right? So
Right.
that's 10. So actually it's pretty good. You must have zoomed in over here.
Over here on my 1 minute?
Yeah. Because these price cycles don't look like
they don't look like
mine.
They don't look like this.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, let's just leave them like that for a minute because that helps.
Or do you want them expanded?
Yeah, that's good. It helps me to see that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, hey, that's actually really good trading. All right. So, right here, it's testing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see if it's going to break. If it's going to break, we don't want to get into sells, right? So, but we do have 50 seconds. And let's quickly measure this bar and see what that is from top to bottom, because I need to get a feel for what our price cycles are running.
Just this one bar?
Yep. Also show me what our spread is right now.
1.3. Oh.
1.5. All right. So I love this kind of, this is one of my favorite if we can get it. And so we missed the opportunity here, but what I want you to see is when it shoots up like that, if there's enough profit between the top of this candle and the bottom of here, so if there's like at least 3 pips, I would be smacking that sell button as much as you can, because there's a lot of times it just does what it's doing right now, comes back, and inside that candle, it can do it a couple times, and I could recycle the opportunity at least twice. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. If we measure from this line up, where's 3 pips, right? And so kind of get to know where that is. Just we're trying to fill out where the market is right now. What's it doing? So measure above that. So 3 pips. I'll keep going. Okay, keep going.
To the resistance.
That's 3 pips. Yeah. So it has to go all the way up there. So I messed up. So we don't have really good movement. I forgot about the decimal point.
The decimal, yeah, me too.
That always gets me because I trade in Alvio and then I have to transfer it over. So really, we're looking at. I mean, we still got 4 to 5 price cycles. So no, actually, that's pretty good. So I mean, it's really good for this time of night.
Right.
But like I said, before we even really get into trading, let's identify where our major zones are. So meaning that if it breaks down lower, then we want to be trading light. If it breaks above, then we want to be trading light. So
do that on the 5.
Yeah, so go ahead and throw that on the 5. Did you get?
I have to erase this every time.
You got out of that trade that we put on?
No, that was earlier. I jumped in probably about 30 minutes before.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's why I'm up $3.
Gotcha.
It got scary, very. All right. So our major decision points. Obviously, we got this bad boy down here.
Yep.
I can make that a little bit better for everybody with my newfound skill. What?
David, and it's 1 minute because it's already gotten to 2 price cycles on there, and there's some resistance on there. Would you take a couple sells on there?
Real fast, Jimmy.
Am I just going gun home?
The reason why I wouldn't, the only hesitation that I have, because if it breaks above this line right here, it could be trading in this zone.
Got it.
Right. So that's why I wouldn't take a sell. If it doesn't break above that, then and it comes down, then absolutely. But I don't want it to go lower. I mean, I don't really care where it goes, but I would try. If you're going to take a sell, you're going to get into sells light, because if it comes down, we're not going to buy, because in case it breaks. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But if it comes up here, then we can just normal trade. We don't need to worry about going light, going heavy. We can just normal trade inside of this zone right here. If it breaks up to this line right here, that's when we're going to go light again on our sells. So we'll sell light here and we'll buy light here. Does that make sense?
Okay.
We'll probably be looking for more sell opportunities here. We'll probably be looking for more buy opportunities here without take profits. That makes sense?
Okay.
So I would love it for it to come up here and give us a couple of consolidation patterns, because this is where we could pick up some good profits. All right.
So those are my major decision points.
Yep. And it looks like it's going to hold and cross. And so if it holds and cross right here, now remember remember we talked about, like, go back to the 1 minute real fast, because I like to see the candle action of the one. Or the end button works on that too. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay.
And select the 5 minute chart and put that to the end as well, so we can see the end of. They can see where current price is at on the 5 minute. Perfect. All right. So it's broken on the 5 minute, but we still testing here on the 1 minute, right? Because this is pretty much the 5 minute right here. resistance place. So, so what we're going to do is if it breaks above here, the same thing, measure above it for 3 pips. If it shoots up, we're going to do some sells. If it doesn't break, it could come down into here. So measure and see if there's 3 pips. Where's our 3 pips? So there's 3 pips. So right there, go ahead and put some buys on. Let's put some buys on right now. A few buys just for this pullback. That's good. Don't put any more on unless it comes down.
It's going slow.
Yep. So also I want to see, can you expand your account info? So again, we're going to go, if it just continues to go down, we may, if it shoots all the way past here, well, if it shoots past your 5 minute, we're in trouble, but that's one of those, what do we do if? Does that make sense?
Yep. You always got to have that contingency.
Always have a contingency, right? So
I like the movement, though.
Well, it's flickering, right?
They're playing.
Wow.
But it's just, it hasn't really made a decision. So it's like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm still deciding.
Yeah, I tried to go back to see if there was any major resistance, and I don't know if it's just because I'm just getting familiar with MT4 again, but gosh, I want to say I couldn't find any for this low that it created. Back to, it will let me go back to 2009.
All right. So as it drops, we're looking for a price cycle down. So,
which is
Can you hear
about
me?
5 to 6 pips.
Yep.
Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
That was a Bank of Japan headlines.
Okay.
Yeah, it's their policy rate right now. So
Got it.
That's what this volatility is.
What's the is it a yellow probably?
Yeah, it's the yellow BOJ policy rate. It's flat. So
Got it. Thanks for
monetary policy statement's tentative though. I hate that they do that. You never know when they're going to throw down.
Keep us guessing.
That's what this was right here. And that's why you saw some action, but it's nothing like, it's nothing like FOMC for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Earlier today, what, 50 to 70 pip swings?
Yep. Did you guys trade that? Anybody trade that other than Patricio? Just curious.
No.
I did. I traded it.
How'd you do?
1.5%.
Awesome.
Ooh.
All right. So
Oh,
yeah, I would have put a buy on again.
Yeah.
Anytime
I
you
was
see
thinking about it.
a dip down like that, that's when you want to put a buy on. But
How many for each level?
and because we're trading kind of light,
Yeah.
you can stack more, but so if it comes down, we'll we'll continue to buy all the way down to here. And if it breaks that, we'll get into some shorts.
We'll be in.
But what I'm thinking is happening right now is the price cycle up, price cycle down. We may get price cycle up or a break. So we'll just play what
So
we get.
since it's testing this, I should get in.
Yeah, go ahead and throw another buy on right there just to see if it has enough strength to break. Can you, let me see here. Even if it breaks down, we have another little support that's like a 2 pip under it. So it's basically retrace that right there. Testing, that's a full price cycle, about a 10 pip price cycle there.
Oops, I got trigger happy.
That's fine. We're just seeing if it's going to break, continue on. But that's a full price cycle. So this is a good place for it to bounce up right here. But again, trend has definitely been down.
Right.
So I would feel more comfortable finding sell opportunities right now. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So this is their action. If we shoot up right here and it comes and it stalls here, this is where we hit our X.
Gotcha.
If it breaks through, we'll still continue to hold on. So we're just looking for the next price cycle back. It looks like for the last, well, I don't know. Looks like for the last 160 minutes, we've been price cycling up, down, up, down, up, down. So I think we'll be all right with just holding on for the next price cycle.
Come on, Bulls.
Hey, Dave, when I open up this new account, it's got all kinds of writing all over the screen here where
You have to make sure that auto trading is selected. So right here.
Yeah, sure. I got it on. It's just new. It's
Close.
All right, this flicker right here. Hold on to those until it starts to stall. Then get out. So get out right now. Okay.
What is that?
I'll take it anyways. You know what I mean? I'd rather take it when it stalls than be wrong.
Yeah, that's all right. You don't expect a move like that unless, it's off that news.
I got 2.55% off of that move.
Nice.
Pete and Norma are both saying you guys are getting echoes. I'm not sure if you're getting echoes or not. So are you still getting echoes? So, all right. So right here, Jimmy,
yep.
If it pops up again, we're going to short that. I love just closing out and then shorting the top of that candle for this retracement right here. And it's a quick short. So get into a few shorts right now and then get out as soon as they become profitable. So we're just going to take like a quick 2 pips or whatever. Not 0.2, but we'll see. So yeah, I like playing the fade off that candle. So go ahead and sell again. Oh, as it pops up, go ahead and sell. Let me clear this. I'm not right now. I'd like to get a pop up and then get out, and then we're going to recycle these trades. Not wait for it to get until you get 3 pips or probably right down into here. If it comes down into there, that's where we're going to just pop out and try to recycle these trades. Go ahead and pop out. Okay. And if the candle action comes down all the way to here, we're going to buy. Okay. Or right here and doesn't cross. In fact, go ahead and buy. Let's go ahead and buy right now since we're trading light. We'll buy as we're trying, as it comes down into here, we're going to buy. So buy there. Go ahead and buy again. What I'm looking at right now is if it's going to come down all the way and touch this, we'll continue to buy all the way down. And so go ahead and put 2 buys on right here. Oh, it's shrunk. So I'm thinking we might have to peel this guy off with a little bit of a loss, but we're going to win on these guys. So if it shoots up and gets into here, this is our next action where we're going to see if it stalls right here or if it stalls right there. So go ahead and throw another buy on. So if it stalls here, we get out. If it breaks to the up, this is our next stall point. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I'm going to draw them right here, right there.
Can you guys try a test and turn all your mics off except for the person speaking?
So,
just to test for echo.
Got it. Thank you.
I'm muted on Discord.
No, it's just, I think there might be, unless you're talking, everybody just mute your mic. But if you hit the space bar to talk, feel free to talk, guys. Just maybe there's some echoing going on. So in fact, I'll just mute everybody but Jimmy and I. And so did that do it? Did that clear the echo?
Nope.
No,
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit now.
there it is.
Why do we always have issues with technology? Oh, you had an echo on Discord? That's weird.
No, not anymore. At least on Zoom, it stopped.
Oh, I bet if you guys are in the live trading event thing, that is picking up your mic. So that's why
That fixed it.
right? If you guys get out of Discord, that live trading event, that'll fix your echo. Okay, so it shot down. I didn't want it to cross that, but because it did, we could see a full retracement here. So the next move we're going to see right here is go ahead and throw a few shorts on. We're going to ride the short down.
How many thinking? Like 3?
Yeah, go ahead. So what we're doing here is kind of like a level 2 technique here on wobbling. It's if it does come down and do 100% retracement, we're going to win on these shorts, but the next price cycle back up, we'll buy down here or whatever. We'll get in for another price cycle back up. So we'll make money here. We'll make money here. And if it fails to do that, it'll give us opportunity to cross out of those trades. That makes sense?
Yes,
So
sir.
if it doesn't, go ahead and throw another sell on too. Just I'd like to get a little bit because you have 8 buys, 4 sells. So if we get
Okay,
4,
even
we get
out.
4 down and 4 up. So if it doesn't, no, just don't. Yeah. If it doesn't and it crosses this line,
Yeah.
then these layers become the ones we have to fix. But I would rather have this as a safety layer and it's a throwaway layer. So it's, you kind of go light. It's a throwaway layer, but we don't get out until it's time to get out. So we don't take the max loss on it, right?
Right.
So it's just a throwaway layer, but it's also there to protect us in case it does do 100% retracement off of that move. And I got to clear my charts. All right.
So in case we need to get rid of that throwaway layer, we have to throw them away one by one?
Yeah. Norma, even though if you close Discord, it's still open. You have to actually get out of the channel. So it just minimizes. Discord doesn't really close. It just minimizes to your tray unless you actually tell it to close. So that's probably why you guys are getting echoes for those in the live trading event.
Did that help maybe on my end if anybody's hearing echoes?
Yeah, you have to disconnect. So it took me a minute to figure that one out. But if you click on it, the bottom where you see your name and your picture, the bottom in Discord, if you're in that room, you'll see a disconnect button. And I'm echoing because I just jumped in that room. So you'll see a disconnect button under voice connected, and you hit the disconnect. So we got Cliff in there still. So you probably want to get out of that room. All right. So you got sells on, you got buys on. I think you're in a good position for it to go either way. And so this is a great time to not care what it does.
Kind of, yeah, just hurry and wait.
Right. So I kind of like your ratio here. You know, you got obviously you're heavier on your buys than you're on your sells, but you're also in a good bounce point. So in order for these buys to get into a higher probability, it has to cross this right here. If it crosses that, that means it'll probably come up to here, right? If it comes up to here, this is your action. Not necessarily, I don't want you closing out of these guys, but you could close out of these buys down here for some profit. And if you wanted to play it safe, you could close out profit and close out your highest loss. And so it negates that. Does that make sense, Jimmy?
Yep.
So I do this all the time. If I'm like unsure of, if I'm unsure of the direction, I'll put a sell and a buy on, and then I'll use my profit that I'm making to get out of trades, because this move right here, this action, I think is done, right? And so these trades were in reaction to picking up some bigger candlestick moves. And so it doesn't make any sense for us to hold on to these trades up here if it's going to take an hour to hit those.
Right.
I'd rather cancel them, put them back in our pocket, and use them as bullets.
Fresh start.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't see my.
All right, good. We fixed the echo problem. Hopefully, Norma, are you good there too? All right, what's our price cycles right here? Probably really small. Yeah.
These ones?
Yeah, we got baby price cycles like 2 pips up, 2 pips down. This doesn't really do anything for profit. Doesn't do anything. This is night trading.
Little consolidation.
So Dave, when big movements like that happens, does it have a higher probability to go with the trend, or does it kind of reverse? Or, I mean,
well, this was a news event.
Sure.
So news event is reaction of the news event. So to say it's going to go with the trend or against the trend is irrelevant. It's going to go with what the news is. The news event going to strengthen or weaken the pair or the euro in this case, right?
But it doesn't.
The first thing, right? If it's deemed a strength or a weaken, right? It'll go up or down, depend on that.
So regardless of where the trend is, that news event is a blurb in the system, and hopefully, you're taking advantage of it if you can. Obviously,
right.
Or go light because you never know, and then eventually, well, on the 5-minute chart, like maybe 5-10 minutes later, it'll go back to normalcy, what it was trying to do before. Is that a good way of looking at it?
So news events create new market conditions, right? And so sometimes it's a really big news event. It'll create a new trend or break the current trend and trade like it could shoot all the way up here and then start trading up here, right? Even though you had a long downtrend, a news event could take it all the way up, start trading down here. But when you have little news events, I mean, not little news events, but when you have like yellow, which is not like your major news event, you tend to have this, a lot of times, this kind of action where it goes up and it goes down, goes up and it goes down. And so that's why I like trading these where it goes up, you sell, it goes down, you buy, because you got a lot of that type of stuff. It's easier to predict on the yellows than it is on the red, because the reds could go up. And if you sell here for the down, well, it could go up again. And then you sell here and it could go up again. Right? And so those are harder to read for sure. Right? And so that's why I'm like, if you trade the FOMC, definitely do it in a demo. And because I've definitely made a lot of money during FOMC, but I've also lost a lot of money during FOMC. Right? So it's just, for me, it's unpredictable, and I can't use my rules when it comes to news. So if I can't use my rules, then I don't like trading it per se. That's a long way to answer your question. So Robin asked, are we doing zero take profits? Yes. So I always tend to trade zero take profits, Robin, just because if Jimmy were to have take profits, I think he was into buys all the way down here when this shot up. And if he had take profits, he probably would have had his take profits here. And he would not have been able to capitalize on that move, fully capitalize on the move for take profits. Now, I highly, 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 highly recommend people trading with take profits if they don't know where to exit, right? So he had Jimmy exit here off of his trades, which was great. I mean, obviously he could have wrote it up, but you don't know. This is the proper place to take that when it starts to retrace, when you get that pullback, right? Or maybe it was up here, I don't remember. But when you see things like that shoot up, you get out on that pullback. So it is a little bit of a technique to trade with the zero take profit, because a lot of times what traders will do is they'll just let it run so much that they won't take it, and it'll come back and do that. And if Jimmy never took his take profit in anywhere up here, he would have been sitting on those layers and be like, oh man, I should have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right? So I'd rather take the take profit and I would rather have the take profit and say, oh, I should have waited than, I should have took it.
Right. Because it's always easier because you bank the profit, right? And so
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
It's not your money until you put it in the bank, but still,
right.
I look at it like it's putting in the bank when I close out.
Right.
But again, it is a technique, and it does take a little bit of getting used to of knowing properly. I was just going to ask you to do that. So we got 111 tonight, right? Or
Yep.
did you? Well,
No, I was only at $3, so
yeah, you were up $3 today.
Yeah.
So with $100, that's 2% already, right? Well, just you're at 5,500. So
yeah, roughly.
just shy of that. So let's see. We got a couple minutes left. Let's see if it'll break for us in the next 15 minutes, one way or the other. Okay. And let's talk about it for a second. So instead of me explaining what I would do, what would you do, Jimmy? Why don't you kind of explain, what would you do?
More than likely, I'll probably, once it starts to hit this resistance level and test it like it is now, I would probably wait for confirmation, like a 3-bar reversal or something. So I'd probably lose a little bit of the profit, but just to get better accuracy, I'd probably wait for confirmation, like a 3-bar reversal, because I really and then I would probably start to put some buy levels in at this point.
Now remember, you do have both. So do you have the script that closes out of all your cells? Can you move this over so you can see what you have? If you don't have that,
the modify take loss, take
no,
profit.
you don't have the script. So let's do this really quick. Open up. Move that over so we can kind of see what that is. And we're set, and we're going down, so this is good. Go ahead and throw a few buys on as it goes down. I hate that with that spread. Always gets me. And then what we're going to probably do is, if it comes down to here, we'll get out of your shorts and test that right there. I mean, we could see 100% retracement off of this move.
Yeah.
But I want to build into some buys as it comes down when we get a price cycle up, and enough to where we're winning on your sells, we're winning on your buys, so that we can close out of those guys.
Is there a script where I can just close out of my cells?
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say. Jump over to Discord. And in fact, maybe I'll just grab it and throw it into chat. It might be faster, so you keep your screen, keep watching your trades. I'll do this for you. It's in trading resources, helpful trading tools. I pinned it up here, and it's a Google folder. So what we're looking for is
Or
KG,
underneath helpful trading tools.
yeah, KG scripts. He was awesome because I was looking for that script and he had it. So he shared it with everybody. It was really cool. Okay, I'm going to just throw that into the Zoom link for you. All right, go ahead and click on that link when you get a second, Jimmy.
Let's see, helpful trading tools, the one you just posted?
In the Zoom link.
Discord? Oh, in Zoom.
Yeah. Takes you right there. And then just quickly download the scripts in there. That is the
Close shorts.
close shorts and close longs. Yep. Download those. And that'll help you quite a bit. All right.
Did I miss my opportunity on those sales?
No,
I still got.
yeah, because it came down here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was saying. The action of the candle down here, it may give you another opportunity, but if it's a second action, sometimes on the second action, it could break through. So again, watch this action. If it doesn't break, it's definitely going up.
Right.
So watch the action, get out of your cells if you can, if it comes down, and test that, right? We do have some wicks that are forming on the bottom. So
Sorry, I have to do this to close them out
all right,
individually.
here we go. It's coming down, it's testing. Yeah, you still got 19 seconds on that candle. All right. Gut says that when you can get, let's close out of some of your cells on the next down candle. But we got your buys in, so it's just moving so slow.
Yeah, and to download that, it's asking me to open with specific.
No, just down. You're not opening them. We're just going to drag and drop them into a folder. So, but let's focus on your trades right now, because it's hitting an opportunity for you to maybe get out or hold on, right? So let's go ahead and get out of your cells right there. Just take the $8. If you can switch them by type too, if that helps.
Oh yeah. Nice. So it just puts them in order.
Yeah.
Coolio.
And you're out. Okay. So now we've kind of said, now that we're out, it's going to drop down.
Of course.
100% retracement.
Never fails. Never fails.
So, but if it does drop down, we're into buys now. So we've basically said we're basically saying we believe that it's going to go higher, right? And we're not saying that it's going to break trend. All we're looking for is a price cycle up. And so this is our next decision point right here. Okay. But it has to break on the other side of this in order for it to hit there. So we need this candle or a next candle to break above that red line in order for us to have confirmation of where we think it's going.
Right.
All right. So while it's doing that, because we're probably going to wait for a little bit, go ahead and hit your file. I'm going to show you how to do this real fast. Go to
Okay,
file.
Yeah, this monitor makes me have to pull out. So file.
Oh, gotcha. And then go to open data folder. And then open up your download. Oh, open up MQL4. And then open up scripts. And then what you just downloaded, drag and drop them into there.
Oh, too many. Okie dokie.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. And then close out of that. And then you'd have to restart your LMFX account in order for them to appear.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that really quick because I don't think it's going to be moving anytime soon on us to where like, oh crap, get out, Jimmy.
Don't do that. I don't have it on the mobile app.
All right. So now you know how to do this, right? You just drag and drop it on there if you want to close your longs, you want to close your shorts.
Okay. So each time, whichever one you just, drag and drop.
Yep. So if you're ever in that situation where you have both buys and sells on, makes it super simple to get out. And I find myself in that situation a lot, right?
So just want to double check, Dave. Don't do what I did. I thought because I'm used to just dragging it over there and do some settings, that's the actual close longs and close shorts. Right?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Sorry. So KG and other people are probably more MT4 friendly. They said they don't have to get out. You just had to double click or read.
Yeah. So I got out.
Oh, like refresh?
Man,
Yeah.
no, you'll close out on all your shorts or strong, depending on what it is, by just clicking it over, right? Darn it.
Got it. So, got it. That makes sense. I know every little button there is in Alveo because I've been with it since the beginning, but not MT4. I'm still learning all the little tiny shortcuts and tricks and stuff. All right. So because it didn't break above this, it could price cycle back down.
Which would just give us more opportunity to buy down here.
Could, but I mean, it
breaks
just puts
this
it back
level.
on there because it's really small.
Hmm.
And you still have to cover the spread, right? So even if you bought right here, you'd be right there. Okay, so this candle's doing something.
Yeah, I like it.
Hit the end button on your keyboard for me.
Uh,
On the one.
Yeah, I want to see how much time we had. Okay, so I thought it was lower than that, so I'm not too excited about it. If it broke above here with less than 10 seconds, that would have been a good sign. But it broke above there with more than 30 seconds. Like, it doesn't really matter. It still could wick out.
So is that kind of where you're to get more profit, or I guess better entries, is like 10 seconds, you're probably pretty good to know that it's closed below or above the previous candle.
As a rule of thumb, I mean, you could always go back down to 2 seconds and then it could just retrace, right? So it's never really until it closes, right? But if it shoots up, and somebody needs to plug in.
We plugging in.
So if it's up,
my generator.
If the candle is up here and you got like less than 5 seconds, there's a good chance it's not just going to generate that big of a wick, right?
Right. Okay.
But again, you never get confirmation, and then until it does, and even then your confirmation could be negated by the next candle. So if this candle pops up here and then the next candle goes all the way down here, well, that just made that be a false break.
Break, and then our engulfing candle, and we'd probably start to look to short again.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about how we're going to trade this real fast. Like, as we don't want to sit and watch paint dry the rest of the night.
Sure.
So again, we don't want it to come down and do that. We don't want it to, eat up into our profits either. So, if it breaks below here and it comes back and touches this, I'd probably put some sells in. If I could get after the break, the break, I would put some cells in to write it down 100%. If that's what it decides to do. If it breaks above this right here, I would probably adjust. If you're going to walk, let's just say you're going to walk away, I'd probably adjust my take profits to be right here on there. So put your take profits here, means you're losing on these guys, but you're winning on these guys. And so it should cancel it out as a safe bet.
Safe card, yep.
Right. And if you wanted to walk away, you could also do where you could do a pending sell or I can't think of the word. It's not a sell.
Buy limit.
No, sell. A sell pending. What is it? Right click on the chart. I can't think of it.
They'll stop.
Sell stop. Thank you. Thank you. Right here, you could put in a sell right there, and with the take profit down to here. And that's probably what you could do. So those are the things that I would execute on if I was going to walk away, and because if the market's just like really crawling, and it's going to take another hour for it to make a decision, those are the things that I would probably do to protect my positions and to protect the money and to make sure that I don't. And then I probably would, as a safety feature, I would probably add in a shorten up your stop losses on your buys to be probably about 3 pips
Underneath that support.
below that line, right? Because if it breaks this, last thing you want to do is have it run.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm fairly confident that, I mean, obviously I put you in this position because it's where I think the market's going to go, and we don't need it to go very far. We only need it to go.
Like 6 pips roughly, right?
Oh, and less than that, about 3 pips up from the top. I think, I don't know, measure that.
From here?
Maybe you're right. Yep, 6 pips. About five pips up.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, Bulls.
But I mean, you're not in heavy at all.
Yeah.
We wanted to, you're in. You have plenty of bullets left to fix stuff if you need to fix it. I just hate trade. I don't like it when it's doing this.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. Who likes nothing? All right, let's kind of talk about recap tonight. How did you guys do? Cool. How did you do tonight? You're muted, by the way.
I got 2.05.
Nice.
2.05. What's that?
Percent?
$2.50.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trading Alveo.
Oh, gotcha.
Because there's some settings in my mind that I have to still correct for some reason. But I mean, actually I was doing both, but then somehow when I was trying to fix some of the settings on there, but I'm $106.50 up on LMFX. So a couple percent too.
Nice.
What about you, Dad? How you doing tonight?
Well, I my balance is 1097 now. That's my first trading tonight, and my equity is 1056 because the $34. Well, now it's 27.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Negative.
still got 30 seconds left on the candle,
and it looks like it's doing well.
All right. Again, the action right here, it's a stall, so you probably want to get out. There you go. Let's go look at where your product All right. So not bad. $113 tonight.
I mean, normally, well, maybe many traders probably would have just, it's riding up, right? And kind of focus on that they didn't make that money up here, but you got to switch your mindset of, hey, you got out of those trades, right? No real bad damage at all.
Yeah, I mean, you only took a $5 loss, right?
Yep.
But you actually, in my opinion, that was only a $5 loss, but you took those sells of $8.
Right.
So those sells negated that loss right there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that definitely helps with the psyche, right? Because now I'm ready to go when I'm not so heavy and thinking, I'm on those hope and pray trades.
Yeah.
Right.
Who knows about the H&P strategy?
Hey, listen, I am an expert in H&P trade, man. Come on now.
So I think this was good. I mean, I didn't expect it this pop, right? You don't expect it pop all the way up to where we want it to go. If I was a betting person, I would have said it was going to take at least another 45 minutes to get up there, right? The way the market was moving. But we'll take it, right? For whatever. Also,
would you have faded this candle here or no?
Go ahead. What was that again? Say that again.
Would you have faded this long candle?
Maybe if I was still trading, but this is garbage trading.
Garbage time.
Yeah. So I'm like, I wouldn't have really. For me, I'm like, I would have been done. Like, I just want to get out and be done trading, right? So, and it gave us that opportunity. So I wouldn't have, but yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of my favorite go-tos, which is an abnormal candle where it retraces 50%. Yeah. Unfortunately, what is that? Sorry, my drawings over that. What is 50%? Only like 3 pips.
3 pips.
So it wouldn't have been worth it in this example because it's just so small. You have to cover that spread. It wouldn't have been worth it. But almost always on an abnormal candle, you get that 50% retracement. So that's one of my high probability trade setups. If this candle was greater than 5 pips, absolutely, I would have taken that.
Sure. Okay.
Good question though. All right. What are some key takeaways, Jimmy, do you think we're here?
I think really that, I guess that don't necessarily want to call it a hedge, right? But putting those cells on and being able to recognize where we should, I guess, take those cells off and then start to build into that buy level again when we were down here in this area, because that's something that it's new to me, right? Because I probably would have just held on to those buys and maybe, like I said, built levels of buys here, but then I would have missed out on all this profit right here down for that down swing.
Yeah. And I felt like the one thing that I want to just point out is that we had this action here, right? Mm-hmm. The moment that this happened and we were into trades, that's the moment when we changed our attention to these are now no longer profit. Now we need to mitigate that exposure, right? That's when we started to trade to get out of these trades with the least amount of damage. And I think we executed on that, or you executed on that the best that you could have by negating, you basically negated that loss. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, instead of just closing them out, right? Freaking out. Oh no. And then closing out the top of the price.
we avoided the max loss, right?
Yep.
All right. Anybody else have any comments? Patricio, how did you do tonight?
Well, I mean, if we hadn't done what we did on that candle that shot up, I was doing like 150 positive for today, but we had positions open for like 170 negative.
Got it.
But since we did what we did, I did $132 today.
Okay, nice. That's nice. So the key thing here, guys, and I mean all week long we've gone up, right? All week long, we've gone up. So every single day, that's the key, is you just continue to be consistent and increase your account size, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as we can hit, that 2% plus on the day, which I think, I don't know. I'm not a very good percentage guy, but I would think, 2%, close to. I don't know. I'm not going to do the math. Somebody else can. But we're close to, on a $5,500 account, 55 and 55. Yeah, we did more than that, right? So 55 is 1%. 55, that's 110. So we barely hit just a little bit over 2%, right?
Right.
So, and as long as we do that, and some nights, we'll hit more, some nights we'll do a little less. As long as we're moving up, we're going to our goal. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, not bad for the first, for the first little bit of getting to hitting our goal, right?
I'll take $100 an hour any day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Right.
Robin, nice comment. Robin says, the stalls, she's looking at the stall tool. That's a nice thing. I do that all the time. That's just, another tool to your arsenal for sure, is learning when the stalls are going to be. Also, for whatever reason, when you get close to like a top of the hour, the top of the hour always seems to have more momentum. I don't know why, but I've noticed that just the top of the hour seems to you get bigger candles and more, and like the last 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes of the hour, the first 10 minutes of the next hour, you seem to get more momentum. So I don't know.
Huh.
It wasn't really tonight, but I'm thinking that's why we're starting to see this, is because we're getting into that, starting to see some bigger candles here, which is good. All right. Anything else, guys? Any other comments before we call it?
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Can you hang with me just for a couple seconds after everybody leaves? I want to have you help me fix everything on this new account. Nothing's working as far as my buttons and everything.
Okay. For sure.
I've had to do it all manually tonight.
What was that, John? That's the higher the time frame, the more traders and dollar being traded. You mean like
on the top of the hour?
Are you talking time hour or a higher time frame, like the hour chart, the day chart? Yeah, I kind of thought so. Like people just jump in, computer trading, stuff like that. I've just noticed that, right? So
Maybe have signals set too, right? Maybe.
And so because I've noticed that, there's like all these little tiny things, like the stall, the layers, of course, if it breaks this, it's going here. All these little things that you start building up over time. And then at first you like really focused on them. And then as you bring them into your skill set, you can start adding another skill and another skill and another skill. And eventually you get to the point where you're like, oh, I've seen here, done this. Because, I think this is the first time maybe for Cool and Jimmy, maybe even Patricio, I don't know. Is this the first time that you guys have actually seen us do the sell technique?
I've seen you do it a couple of times.
Right. But it's not all the time.
Right.
No.
Right? We don't do that every single time we trade, but you see things like that, you pick up on it, and then you can execute on different things, right? But that just takes time. Over time, you have that skill set, right?
Dave, I got to run. I got a management meeting.
Okay, sounds good, guys. Thank you guys for showing up. And tomorrow night, we're going to start a half an hour earlier. So just to let you guys know, we're going to start at 8 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow night, right after my Wobble Crew training. We'll jump into live trading. So I want to just test and see if the market's better than there. So, all right, guys, that's it. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.